Hi, thanks for watching. I wanted to send over this video to introduce ourselves and to show you, rather than just tell you, how we're able to rank company websites in multiple locations for different services that you want to be found for. Now, much like your industry, there is no one-size-fits-all approach here. Similar to your 5 core elemental plan, we customize a multi-point strategy based not only on the service and location, but also the competition in those areas so we can actually achieve the desired results. Now, there are two aspects of SEO, on-page and off-page, each with multiple factors that attribute to ranking. So to demonstrate how we formulate these strategies, I've taken your website and I put it into this tool that we use called Ahrefs, and it shows me all the information that Google finds on your site when it crawls it that it uses to determine your position in search results. Now, besides these being KPIs that we can use to track your growth, I also use these statistics to show where we need to make up some ground in order to outrank the competition in specific services and areas. Now, the purpose of the off-page part of the SEO is to build the authority or trust in the website in the eyes of Google. Now, this is done through the backlinks, as you're aware, and I can definitely see from the quantity here that your SEO person has definitely been creating some backlinks. From this graph, though, it looks like it's telling me that they were basically all loaded up in within a month's time, and then they immediately started to fall off. Now, no backlink is going to last forever. We know this, but the fact that they were uploaded in such a short amount of time with that sheer quantity going from 600 to 2100 within 30 days, and then they immediately started to fall off, that's an indicator to me that they're not the most highest quality or very authoritative backlinks. So a backlink basically has two parts or purposes. It's going to be the domain that it comes from. So obviously you can't give trust or strength through a backlink if you don't have any in the first place. So we need to find websites that are highly authoritative, but also relative to your service industry. So if we have a link coming from like a pizza place, Google's going to realize that you're a financial planner, you're not slinging pizzas, so that's not going to add any kind of authority to your site, even though it adds a number. Then the second part of the backlink that a lot of people don't understand is there's what's called an anchor. So when you have a link, say for instance, let's just say like a local news station did an article on their website and it said the top 10 best wealth management companies in Florida. So in that article, they would have a link that brings them to your website. So that link that a reader could click, that could be just your URL. It could be something that says, click here to learn more. That's what's called an anchor. So very briefly, without getting too in depth and as far and lost in the technicals here, the anchors really matter because that's what builds authority in specific keywords as well. So you can see here that you have a majority of your anchors anchoring to your actual website URL. Which is great. Like that needs to be the top anchor as far as a majority. But then in order to rank for individual keywords that we want to be found for, we need to build authority through backlinking using those specific keywords as anchors. So if we take a look at the second factor with the on page, you can see these are the keywords that you're being found for in search. These are all the keywords and phrases that are being typed into the search that Google is finding on your page. And then it also shows the volume, the number of times per month they're being searched. So this is the area where we do a lot of research, both in your market and also on the competitors, to find out what the highest volume keywords are relative to the services that you offer and in the areas, and making sure that those are being included and properly ranked on your page. And then this is where some of the anchoring comes into play. So if we want to make sure that you're gaining authority and trust, not just to your website, but on a specific subject, topic, or keyword in general, we want to use that keyword as an anchor. So for instance, financial advisor Florida, that's being searched 300 times a month. Right now you're in 15th position, so you're in the middle of the second page. If you were on the first page, that 300 people would be seeing you when they search. Now, we're very conservative, and Google Analytics usually says 10% of search volume, total search volume, can become a lead. So you're looking at roughly potential 30 new leads coming into the business, whether it's through calling you directly or form submitting through the website. And then I don't know what the exact close percentage is or conversion rate for your particular industry, but you can just see how the sheer volume of leads coming in can definitely add up to some revenue and some new customers every year. And that's just for one keyword. So we want to repeat that same process for all the highest volume keywords. But we want to also be finding what we call buyer intent keywords. So if somebody's searching top financial advisors, that's a nationwide keyword. That doesn't mean they're searching for it in any of the states that you service or offer. Um, Now, if they're searching financial advisor Miami, that means that there's somebody in Miami area that's looking for somebody to manage their money. So that would be an important keyword. Obviously, less volume than some of the national ones, but we're talking this is all volume within the area of Miami versus 1,400, but that's in the entire country. So these are the types of keywords that we want to try to find, include on your site, and then anchor to them. So that way we can build authority for those search terms. So that way you'll be more likely to come up in the search results. Now, if we see how this looks on the page as far as continuing with on-page SEO, taking a look at the page here, the layout is good. We've got the menu information in the header where people can get everything that they want. It is mobile optimized for click to call. I would probably suggest, this doesn't give me a whole lot of viewing area. Obviously, I can minimize that and get a little bit more. My first initial reaction to this would be probably, facelifting the site a little bit to get it a little bit more. I'm torn between warm and inviting and kind of little popping to attract some attention. We do have a lot of white on white and white and black kind of monochromatic going on. It looks like, your color schemes are white, black, and gold, which we can still incorporate, but trying to get something that's a little bit more, I'm hesitant to use the word flashy, but something that can at least, attract their attention so they're wanting to continue to read more and go down the page and explore the site some more. But the biggest initial problem I'm having is the sheer amount of content on the page. And the reason why that's an issue is because when Google comes in and crawls your site, the first thing it's going to do is count all the words and text on the page. Now, generally, as a rule of thumb, we try to have at least 1,500 words, especially on a home page, because Google assumes that the more information you have, the more of an expert you are, and then the more likely it is to recommend you. Kind of the difference between having one reference book and having an entire encyclopedia. So while it's counting all the words on the page, it's also searching for those keywords. So any of your services and service areas. So this is where the number of words on the page really comes into play, because you're only allowed to have one of those keywords for every 150 words of text on the page. So the more services or locations you want to be found for, then the more content that has to be added in order to support that. And then furthermore, in order to qualify a keyword, the 150 words of corresponding text has to be describing and about that particular keyword. So if we're talking about fiduciary in Miami, or whatever that keyword was, um, financial advisor, no, well, yeah, so let's just use that, financial advisor in Miami, the 150 words have to be talking about financial advising in Miami in order to qualify that as a keyword. So it's getting a little bit more difficult and to qualify keywords. Before you could just list them and Google would pick up everything, but as they're doing updates, the AI is becoming smarter and smarter every time, and it's actually looking to make sure that the content is both unique. We can't duplicate content anywhere on the page, otherwise it shows duplicate content and it won't count it. But then it also has to be relative to the keyword that you're trying to rank. So as far as how this would play out in search results, obviously all the ads come up first. Inside here, this is what we call the map pack. This area is fairly important to try to get into because a lot of traffic does come to these three sites since they are at the top of the page. There are ways to get in here, which is you optimize your Google business profile. The way to do that is just to try to add as much information in here as possible. You want to get your name, your business name. You're allowed 750 characters to describe it. You want to throw some keywords in there. You want to have all the services you offer, the area, even hours of operation. And then really, I know it's a little bit more difficult for your industry, but we want to be adding photos that are geolocated and tagged from within your service area, as well as posting on this profile on a regular basis. Google really rewards activity to your profile. Then you want to try to collect as many reviews and get as many things we call citations. So a citation is any time that your name, address, and phone number appear in an online directory. Those would be like Yelp, Yellow Pages, Super Pages, Better Business Bureau. They're usually all free. It just, you take some time to find them all, register your business, and input the information into it. But you want to be listed in more directories than anybody else on this list. So then underneath that, this would be what we call the organic search results. So this is where the more authority or trust that Google has in your site, the higher up in the list you're going to rank. And I do see, this particular search, they came out second, but I know you said that Florida FA was one of your direct competition. Um, Another option is if you're not looking to rebuild your entire site, we can do what's called a lead gen site. So because similar to even the first one that's coming up here, they are exact match keyword phrases as their URL, which makes them even more relevant in the eyes of Google. We could find similar exact match keywords and buy a domain and make a website using that, and then put all the information on there, build it all out properly for Google to rank it, and then just have the number forward. It'd be a call tracking number forward to whatever your main line is. So all those leads would still be coming to your business, even though it might look like a different business. We do that for some customers, and we can pop those up in different areas as well. And I know you were interested. You said one of your weak points was being able to track, where things are coming in from and what is working. So these types of call tracking numbers, they're internet numbers that will still be a local area code to whatever service area you want to be in, and then it would track all the incoming calls, where they're coming from, stuff like that, so you can actually get an idea of not only how much volume you're getting, but where it's coming from. So we can try to target whether you wanted to run more ads. I know you tried that in the past, and it does get rather costly, but we can add more content to the page relative to the areas where we know calls are coming in and things like that to be proactive based on tracking where your clients are calling from and potential where new leads can come from. And then every month we're tracking your competition, seeing what they're doing, making sure that as we're raising up your rank and basically outranking them, they're not doing anything to match that. So we're constantly checking on them to see what they're doing as far as their backlinking status, where they're anchoring to, if any keywords that we're outranking us in, things like that. So there's a lot that goes on a regular basis to try to maintain your status and track what's going on. So I hope this information was helpful, and it shows you how we can help scale some of your online presence. Look forward to, if you have any kind of questions or if you'd like to go into any further detail, love to hop on a call so we can talk some more. I do appreciate your time, and I look forward to hearing from you.